that as we go through life, people are attractive. And maybe it's just the way they look, maybe it's their personality, but we get attracted to people. And what can happen is that our emotions can really just run riot. I mean, they can go crazy with liking people and loving people and obsessing about people was mentioned. Because we are emotional people and we're built to respond to other people. And you know, the object, if there's someone that you really fancy, you know, one little word from them that's good can make your whole day, can't it? It's like, you know, you say one thing and it's like, yeah, you're happy, you're walking on cloud nine. Or if they don't say something, or if they ignore you, and then you can sink into the depths of despair. I know that, I mean, this happens with me. You can be all over the place because someone you fancy does or doesn't do something. But the crazy thing is, all of that is going on inside you. It's not happening to what's happening to other people, but it's their own likes and dislikes that are happening. Have you ever been just completely bored to death by a friend when they've got a big crush on someone?
Oh my gosh. Yes.
I remember one Sunday afternoon, these many years ago, my best friend was over at my place, and he was the kind to really obsess about girls. You know, where on every single piece of paper he would own or come across, he would write their initials. I remember one day he was particularly broody about some girl, and we spent the entire afternoon in my bedroom with him laying on my bed staring at the ceiling, obsessing about this girl. I was bored absolutely out of my mind. He, on the other hand, was having all kinds of emotions coursing through his body and you know, having adventures in his mind and all kinds of stuff. I was bored to tears because we have these things, but they're all going on inside of us. What do you think is the difference between falling in like with someone and falling in love with someone? That's a good distinction. You think they're nice, or you want to have their kids. That's a pretty good distinction.
I like you.
What other ideas?
You want to stay with who you left with like forever.
Mhm.
You've always like, but you
obsessing over this.
But you know when you like, but you know when you like think that you love someone, but you actually don't.
Yeah. Because 2 months later you love someone else.
Yeah.
Do you find that the word love gets thrown around quite a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I love pizza, and I love my children, and I love my wife, and I was remarking before the meeting started, I love dolly mixture. We throw this word around a lot, but we know the difference between I love pizza and I love someone and want to have their babies. But a lot of times, like Charlotte said, we have this feeling, I love them, I want to spend the rest of my life with them. And then a few weeks or months later, we find out that we don't, and we start thinking, what did I ever see in the big jerk? And I don't want to spend any time with them, much less the rest of my life. That would be like going to prison. So, how do we know what the difference is? We don't.
You don't until you like see it.
Okay.
Until you're there.
Okay, when you're there, you know. This is kind of how I see it. That a crush is about, or fancying someone is about how you make me feel. If I fancy you, you make me feel wonderful, and I enjoy being with you. I love the way you look. I think you are funny or smart or charming or whatever it is about you that I like. I like the way you dress or the brands of shoes you wear or whatever it is that makes you fancy someone. It's about you and what being with them does for you and makes you feel. And if they stop making you feel that wonderful way, then if it is just a crush, it tends to fade away and you get bored and you move on to something else. Because when you fancy someone, it's about you and it's about how you feel. Now there's nothing wrong with that, really. There's nothing wrong with having a crush on someone. There's nothing wrong with fancying someone. That's how we're built. That's what we do, and it's okay, it's great. Love, on the other hand, if I love someone, then I want to give up my life for them. And it's not about, what do you do for me? What present do you give me? How do you make me feel? What do you do for me? It's about, I want to give my life to be with you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. And because there's something about when I give to you that is so wonderful. That's what I want, and it's something a whole lot bigger and a whole lot deeper and a whole lot more earth-shaking than just a crush is. But a crush, I mean, it can feel like the beginning of the world, or it can feel like the end of the world. It can feel like just overwhelming. It feel like it can swallow you up. And we talk about obsessing over people. But in reality, having a crush on someone is like when you go to the beach and you're playing in the little waves at the edge of the ocean. And that's kind of what it is when you fancy someone and you like them, you love being with them, and you go all blushing when they get around. And that it's like playing in the waves at the edge of the ocean. And falling in love is a whole lot bigger and a whole lot deeper. And it's like this whole vast, massive ocean that really does swallow you up, and you're just gone in it. We have to be careful as people, because we can find that we move from splashing in the ocean at the edge and having a good time and enjoying being a teenager, enjoying growing up, and it's great. To all of a sudden we're in over our head, we're in deep waters. We're in over our head, or we're in over our hearts.